Hello! How are people doing? Hello, hello, hello. Hope people are doing well. I've got a few projects we're gonna work on today, but I think I'm gonna start out by just working on these a little bit. I have some stuff I need to dome, so I'm gonna put some liquid latex on things to help protect them from the resin. That's a good repetitive thing to do while people filter in. I will show you the shakers as well. I figured I would just not do that immediately after after starting the stream. Alright, yeah, looks like music's gone. If I am hard to hear or the music's too loud or anything, do let me know. I do also have like a little heater going down here, because this room that I'm in gets quite cold. But I can turn it off if it's too loud. I did have someone point out too that the Super Bowl's today, so we'll see if people even show up to hang out. And if they don't, that is fine. We'll still get some projects done. This may be a long stream. We'll at least get everything set up to pour resin. I do need to pour it today. I've had like kind of a sore throat off and on. I don't know why. Don't know why, but I just have. But I don't know. It's just kind of weird. Here, I'm doing the ones that I have multiples of first, so that I can show you what they look like. So all the duplicates I'm covering. I am a little bit worried that I feel like maybe they could be sealed a little bit better. Like I could have domed them a little bit better on the front, some of them. Like it's like maybe not all the way to the edge, which like I wouldn't care like visually. I just worry that things aren't going to be sealed in properly because of it. That's my concern there. I guess we'll see. I'm still going to dome the backs, and then if I need to, I'll go back and dome the fronts again, or add a little bit more resin. Yeah, cause that's I think like the problem. I don't know. Basically, I tack down stuff with some UV resin, and then I tack stuff down with UV resin and like the cover, and then I go and I put 2-part epoxy over it. So the concern is basically that the 2-part resin's still, you know, the only thing that holding down the plastic that I have, the plastic sheet that I have over top of these. Because I made some of these rather like narrow around the. Here, I'll show you what I mean. For example, on these, I made, you can see right here, the wall is quite narrow, so it was, you know, there's not a ton of room around where the plastic sheet is over the top. So there was some UV resin basically that was being used to hold. Let's see if I can show you. Here's this one. Here's this shaker. Some of them are better than others when it comes to that, but you know. Here, I'll show these. I'll show these off so that I can get them all coated. So I've got a few shakers that we're doing today. I've got a few other things we're working on too. I do have some new molds. That is something that I want to do. I have some new skull molds and some new bird molds. I did already pour one of each, partially just. Oh yeah, the hand one. This was another one that I designed, and again, I maybe designed it like with the wall being rather thin, but I think this one actually sealed okay. Let me see if I can get it so you can see the deer in there. Hey, Mickey, my hand. Man, my camera never likes to find things close up. Come on, camera. There we go. Oh, I found it for a second. Didn't find it for very long. Come on. There we go. You can see the deer that I made in there. Anyways, yes, I did make a skull and a bird already, just because I wanted something for a thumbnail. So I do kind of know how they're going to look, like a skull and a bird. But I do want to use these today, and part of the reason for that is that I have some example pieces that I want to make. So I'm going to be doing some like little resin class type things in a month or two. When is that? It's coming up pretty quick, I think. Is it in April or is it in March? I'd have to look. Anyways, I'm going to be doing some resin classes basically. There's like a maker convention type thing here in town. Not here in town, but nearby. So the first class, my plan is to show off some different resin techniques. So like a mica drop, and probably a Petri and a dirty pour. Those are probably the ones that I'll show off. I already have an example piece for the Petri as well. And then I have an example for the mica, but I want an example for the dirty pour, for example. And then the second class is going to be about like resin inclusions. So I want to have some examples of things, so like feathers, mylar sheets. I made a list. What do I want? So some of the examples I want here: mylar, flowers, and feathers. And I was thinking a feather would look cool in the bird mold. Anyways, I also have some little leftover bits of feather over here. Oh, tinsel would be cool too. I've got some random things sitting over here from some other projects recently, but maybe we'll use those in a couple of the things here. But just examples so that I can show people and be like, here's kind of how this works in resin. So I want to get those, and I also have some commission that I'm working on. I have some D20s that I want to get some work done on. There's more D20s than this, but I'm gonna get, I think, some blanks, or at least some like base pieces made that are gonna then go into the actual dice. And I've got 3 of those over here, so we will get those put together. Part of the reason that I don't want to do all of those dice today is because I'm also going to be filming it. So I got camera here, and it just gets a little bit difficult when I'm trying to film things and also stream things. But you know, I need to get that stuff done, so we'll do some of it today, and then I'm going to do the rest of it on camera, but not on stream later in the week. All right, we'll keep. I'll show you guys off some of the. There's another shaker. I'm gonna put stuff on. He's got a little spider in there. We'll keep covering these. My plan of attack for today is I'm gonna get these all covered. I need to get the tops covered. I also want to cover the sides. So I'm going to get all of the tops covered on these, and then depending on whether things are ready for me to start working on the sides of them or not, I've got enough of them that maybe we'll either start coating the sides, or I will move on to getting the D20 stuff put together, partially because there's a lot of like kind of pieces for. Let me turn this down a little bit. Turn the volume down. There's a lot of different things for that. One of which is like a big thing of, I have my moss sitting over here, and it's just kind of in the way a little bit. So it'll be good to get that out of the way. I think I showed you guys this one already. Get this one going. But first off, liquid latex. I realize that, you know, you can absolutely dome things just fine without actually coating them in, you know, a protective thing. But I end up like picking things up to move them and stuff, and I don't want to get resin that's like on my gloves onto the bottoms or the sides. It's just, you know, it's just neater this way. Here, I will set these that have their stuff on it over here, kind of out of my way a little bit. Also, so I can tell which ones I have done so far and which ones I have not. I have a few other random ones. A lot of these are for specifically for an event that I'm going to, and like a thing where I'm making some shakers based on another person's artwork. Here's another one of those. I quite like this one. I think it was really fun with the actual clock numbers and stuff. I will say it was kind of difficult with the. Oh, this is the one that I had to patch too. This one's actually quite messy. The other ones are a little bit cleaner. Might be able to, here. This one's got the stuff on it, but it's starting to. You can see that it's still drying, but the numbers are better on this one. I had to draw in some of the numbers again on this one, which you maybe wouldn't notice unless you were looking for it. But that's because this was a printable transparency that I used, and then I spilled oil, which is what's on the inside of these, on the outside, and then I tried to clean it up with some rubbing alcohol, because that's what I'm going to use to clean up the oil, and then I wiped away some numbers. Oh well. It's all okay. I will say the printable transparencies, while they were maybe a little bit difficult as an overlay, just because of the, it's hard to clean them and things. If I spill a little bit of oil, or I get a little bit of oil around the fill hole, they do work great as a background, and for that, I will show you this one. So this one has the background on this one, which is the moon, is that's a printable transparency too. That I printed out and then cut out and put inside the resin, and then did a background. We're gonna do a background on this one today as well. Coat this one. Ooh. I think maybe I did not dome this one very well. Well, we'll do the back and then I'll come back and dome the front again. Sometimes it's just kind of hard to tell. It's hard to see where there's new resin versus old resin, but while I'm doing this, I can see that there's like a lip here, which makes me think that maybe I didn't get the resin over that far enough. Yeah. Ooh, well. Here's a question before I finish getting all of those, cleaned up. I've got this Tamagotchi shaker. What color should I make the back of it? So like I could do the back in like kind of like a pink to match the front a bit. I could also do the back in like this dark like bluish color to match the little beads, but I feel like it maybe would look weird with everything else. I could go for like the light pink that you see on this one, like this light pink. I was debating that. I'm gonna do the light pink on the back of this one, but you doesn't want to focus. You never wants to focus on things close up. Why don't you focus? Come on, camera, you can do it. You can do it. Please. Well, point being, could do this the lighter pink color here as the back of this, but I don't know. I don't know what to do. I don't know that I want to do the glitter like I have here, because I do worry that it will stick out and make the back like rough. That's why I wasn't doing the same glitter. I was thinking just like a solid color. But I don't know. I think maybe not the dark blue, because while it matches that, I think it might look a little bit weird with everything else. But maybe like a pink. Oh, I could see maybe doing like a pink. I don't know if this is the right pink, but I don't know. I'm not sure on that one, but while we're thinking on that, I'll get this masked off. This is another little Tamagotchi one. I went simple. I just have the little guy in there. If he wants to move. There we go. I just have the little guy in there with a bunch of bubbles. Guy in there with a bunch of bubbles. The darker pink looks good. All right, maybe I'll go with the darker pink. I think that's... Is that the name of the... I don't know. So, Tamagotchis were big when I was in school. I never had one, though. I don't know, like, the names of any of the different little guys or anything. Is that the name of the little guy? I'll be honest, I just went online and went, what did the classic Tamagotchis look like? I don't remember. I thought he was cute, though. Especially this one that kind of looks like a little duck. I thought he was very cute. I do have another one sitting over here. You only know a few. Well, it's more than I know. I do have another one over here that I debated using. Because I made a couple. Here, I can show you. I have a few, like, Shrinky Dinks that I've made that I'm like, I haven't used these on anything yet, but I do have them. Where is he? There he is. So I've got, I got this little guy too. Oops. He's not quite in focus, but I feel like you get the idea. There you go, that little guy. I've got this little guy. Got all sorts of random things in there. A little strawberry, aw. That does sound very cute. Alright, so maybe we go with the darker pink on this one. Let's see. Where is that one? Pink, scarlet. New HC. Where's my mica? It's up here somewhere. Is it with my reds? No. Where is it? Oh, I think I see it. I think it's one more shelf down. Ah, it's one more shelf down. There we go. Couldn't find it. It was lost. AKA one shelf lower than I was thinking it would be. Alright. well, I'll dome the back on this one. I feel like this one could maybe use a little bit more. Oops. It's got a little fish and things, but I was thinking I could do some like kind of like pixelated seaweed maybe over the top of this one. I feel like that'd be cute, just like a few like strands of like seaweed that I like paint on there to match the little pixelated fish. But we'll dome the back and then I'll worry about that. Yeah. So let's see. So we got another one of these. Got another one of these to coat. Some seaweed. Yeah, I feel like it needs like a little bit more or something. So maybe a little bit of seaweed. So I mean, some of these shaker charms it'd be nice to get them done sooner rather than later, because like these ones, the ones that have like multiples of the same kind, those ones I need to get done sooner rather than later because they are for a convention this next weekend. So I've left it down to the last minute. I need to get these done. But the other ones, it's like it could sit for a while. It'll be okay. I don't necessarily have to have it done for the convention. It'd be nice to have it done for the convention, but it's not too big of a deal if it's not. So here's another one for the convention. Got the little deer in there. Figured the shape and the colors and everything were more so complicated or complex on this one that the interior is a little bit more simple. A little bit of a juxtaposition there, some contrast. Most of these, like a lot of these, I'm gonna just dome the backs in clear, but not all of them. The hands here, for example, as well as these ones, I'm gonna do in an opaque black just to match, what's already there. And a couple of these I'll do in various colors. For example, this little vending machine, claw machine. This little claw machine. I have this part here that I filled in because I put stuff in it. I put a little flower in there. I think I'm gonna just do it in the same like green that's the background. So we'll have a green background here. I could do it in clear. I don't know. Should I do it in clear so you can see all the way through, or should I do it in the green so that this part has the green background too? That's I don't know. And then like. This one obviously I'm doing in like a pink, and the moon one I'm also going to do in blue, so it's not a white background. The little Tamagotchi ones are going to have different colors as the backs as well. This guy, this little hedgehog guy, is basically like a duplicate of one that I've already made, and that's because the first one of these guys that I made, I kept for myself. I thought he was so cute. It's just a little hedgehog, and he's got like little foresty things inside of him. So he's got like little mushrooms and rocks and flowers. I don't know. I thought it was so cute. I'm like, this is my favorite. I'm just gonna keep this one. Usually I feel like I don't. Like when I'm making stuff to sell, obviously I don't usually keep things for myself. Every once in a while though, I'll be like, this, I like this so much, this one's mine. Very rarely. Usually if I end up keeping something, it's because there's some sort of flaw with it. Like with dice sets, it'll be like, oh, one of the dice broke, or something along those lines. Be like, well, I'll keep the rest of the dice for myself. But sometimes I'm just like, I really like that. I want that. I have a jumbo D20 that's like that as well. where it was, I should make another one. It was very cool. It was like absolutely filled with flowers. I just completely filled it with flowers. It was just cool. It was cool looking. Alright, so I think this is the, oh no, I've got one more here that I'm gonna do the top. And then we'll let this stuff dry while I start working on, I think, these, this D20 commission stuff. Because I've got some D20s here that I need to work on. And then we'll come back to it after things have dried. Because things are starting to dry. But here's the last one. And then we'll pull out the stuff for the new molds that I got. To put in those, because I do need to figure out some like colors and things. I have some ideas. If you weren't here earlier, I got some very cute little skull and bird molds. I've made one of each. I've made one of each already, partially just so that I have a thumbnail for today. But I am using them as I need to make some example items for some resin stuff I'm going to be, for an in-person resin class I'm going to be teaching, because I want some examples of different techniques and inclusions. So I have a few ideas for things that I want to make with those. I don't necessarily have a plan for colors, so like I wanted to do a little bird with a feather in it. I don't really have a plan for what color of feather. I was also thinking maybe I'd do like a reverse peaching with that one. Don't have a plan for colors there either. So we will come back to that in a moment. I'm gonna set it up to the side though. Things like that. All right. Let me kind of set these things off to the side a little bit. Because I want to have space for doing the working on the commission stuff. So I've got there's more that will need to be done on these D20s, but today I'm just going to get some blanks made that are then going to go inside of some dice. First up, and these are all going to be D20s. There's flake of resin there. Let's get the flake of resin out of here. Okay. First up, I am going to be making like a little like platform of these fake red rocks that I made. These were out of polymer clay. Just made some little bits of polymer clay, and they're going to have these fake animal teeth on top. I think I'm trying to debate whether it would be. I might mix these with like a little bit of resin and then put it into the mold and then place the animal teeth on top. So I think I just want, I need to film all of this. This is why I was, let me pull this out. All right. Here, you guys can see. Let me angle it up a little bit. There we go. Now I feel, yeah, everyone can see now. Excellent. So I'm going to put just a little bit of the red rocks into a mixing cup. I want some of the bigger pieces to not be in there. Yeah, that seems like maybe use a little bit more. I don't think I want the like super giant piece there. There we go. There we go. I think that'll be, I think that's a fair amount. I've got some red rocks, and that's going to be kind of like a base level in there. Honestly, it doesn't hurt to have some left over just in case something doesn't work out here. And then we're going to be, I think I'll take like 3 of the teeth and put them on top, depending on how it like kind of fits. We'll see where we have space. That's going to be the easiest probably of these. The next one, I'm going to be doing a base of leaves. I've got a little sword that I 3D modeled myself and print out. So, let's see if I can show you the sword that I 3D modeled. There you go. It's purposefully like kind of like got edges and things to it. But I 3D modeled it myself. It's going to be kind of like resting on the base of leaves. What I need to figure out, here's what I want to figure out. One, the purple foil that the person wanted, should I mix it in with the leaves or should I just mix it in with the resin later maybe? And then two, should I put the sword in the blank or should I make a platform out of the leaves and then add the sword later? I'm kind of thinking maybe I just add like some leaves in here. I'm gonna and then add just a little bit of resin to kind of hold everything together, and then I can add the sword later and the foil. I feel like the foil I want like little pieces maybe, so maybe I add that around the blank and things, and just like a little bit, because I don't want it to obscure the sword and things. That's I don't know, I'm thinking of that. So, but before I do that, let me do this because it'll get the moss out of the way. So this one, I'm going to be using some moss here, and I'm also going to be using a couple of things that I made. And those are, I made some little flowers. There you go. And I also made, I did not model this myself, but I printed it out and altered it a little bit and things, and painted it. Little spell book, little tiny spell book. And painted that. I think this one, I'm debating on this one whether, I don't think I'm going to put the book in today. I think I am going to put the flowers in, because I think I'm going to do so let me just see if I can figure out, you want to be able to see, I'm trying, this is why I don't like, yeah, there we go. I can even scoot it in a little bit. No, alright. I just want to make it so you guys can see. There we go. So, we're going to open that up. I am going to put the flowers in face down. Normally, if I was doing this in a die, I'd be worried that air is going to get trapped in them. But, since it's a blank, I'm not super worried. I can dip the blank into, like the resin and stuff when it goes into the actual die. I'm going to zoom this in, actually, too. So if there's like a little air gap or something, it's not going to be a huge deal. I think maybe only two. I might only be able to fit like two in there. I think that the third one might be a little bit too much. But I think I'm then going to add some moss. And I'm going to add it face down so we get the green on the outside. Because I'm figuring that I will make this blank. I will then, later after the platform is built, I'm going to, piece of cat hair or something. I'm going to kind of alter it a little, like not alter it, but add more fluff and stuff to it. Trim it down, add the book. Then add more moss as I feel like it needs it on top. But I do want to make sure that I fill this in pretty well. I do want it to feel like it's very mossy. So I'm going to add, some resin. I want to make sure that I have room for I'll have room for the book later, too. But we're not going to be filling this up all of the way. I'm making platforms for things today, basically. I'm making platforms for things so that I can then rest other things on top of them. That's kind of the plan. There we go. Got my moss in there. Let's see if I can show you. You can kind of see I've got kind of like a layer of moss in there. And then for this last one, like I said, we're going to do some leaves. Part of the reason I saved this one for last so that I could set the moss away. I might keep like a little piece of moss there though. I might use that. It's kind of leaf-like. And so that I could actually pull down some leaves to use. Here, let me just grab some leaves. I should have pulled these down earlier, but where did you go? I don't know, I just want some different texture and things in here. Ah, my heater. Tripping over my little space heater here. I also want some different color too. Here, in a second. I feel like that helps, honestly, kind of sell the leafiness of it all. Got all my transparency sitting over here. These probably go somewhere else. Where am I gonna put these? We'll set those over there for now. Alright, I've got, let me try and make some space here so that I can actually put this up on the table. So this is full of, this one's mostly flowers that I have collected and dried myself, but I know that there's some leaves in here. So I just wanted to pull some of those out. Because I think I have some small ones. I do have some really small ones in here. Excellent. Little tiny leaves. Just rest that on my head. Yeah, the thing is that the, D20s aren't super big. So I'm trying to find small leaves that I think will fit and be kind of like the right size. Ooh, these would be good. All right, I think we've got enough leaves here. Yeah, I think that'll be good. Wait. I found some tiny leaves. I found some very tiny leaves. They're called oregano and thyme. I've just realized, oh, I'm showing this camera. I've just realized that I have oregano and thyme, and they're just little tiny leaves. See if it'll focus. Yes, little tiny leaves. So that'll be perfect. Those, to be fair, if I just use those, it'd be about the right size to match the sword. But I think we'll use some of the bigger ones and then fill it in with some of these because they're small. Let me. Again, I want to try and get this so that everyone can see it. Can you see? Excellent. You can see. That's good. But here's a bunch of random like leafy things that I grabbed, and we're just gonna put a bunch of different leaf type items in here. I'm trying to go for a bunch of different like textures and things, you know, kind of feel like a bunch of different kinds of leaves. And again, I am trying to make a platform of leaves. I'm not trying to fill it up all the way. I don't want a whole die of leaves, just a platform of leaves. That's kind of cute. Let me zoom in on here so that we can show off. I know that it's a little bit hard for you guys to see at the moment. And again, that's part of the reason I've moved away from doing commissions on stream. It's just that it's difficult to make it so that things show up well on this camera and on that camera. That's kind of leaf-like. And I think, actually, you know what I might do? I might do the platform. I might not add the oregano and thyme, but what I might do is make the platform, right? And then once I unmold it, add the sword to it and also add some of the oregano and thyme leaves. Since they are, you know, so small, I could do it kind of like on top, kind of like it's smaller leaves kind of on the surface. Could do that. That might be the way to go, actually. I got a few, maybe. Maybe I had a few. But I do want to get a bunch of different kinds of leaves and things in here. Let me twist it a little bit so I can kind of see, because I can kind of see in here. Not very well, but a little bit. So I'm going for different textures and different colors. So that just makes things feel more lush and interesting. There's more color and texture. So I want it to feel filled in, but alright, I think that's good. And then I think I'll add a few of the oregano leaves. Let's zoom out because I think it might be oregano. Okay. And these are just purely for crafts at this point. I'm not going to try and use these for food or anything. Ooh, it smells pretty good though. Just a few, because I want to get some little tiny leaves in there. That smells nice too. This is the time. I think perhaps I might be getting hungry. No, I don't. I'll add like two more little leaves. All right, there we go. Cool. All right, we'll call that good. Sweet. Let me get stuff out of the way so we don't need to worry about the camera again until we actually start pouring resin now. So excellent. Those are done. Let me set my thyme and my oregano back. Right. And it looks like things are drying over here, so that's good. Probably could start working on. You know, let's get these all coated, and then we'll worry about the new the skull and the bird molds, because we can do that while this stuff's drying. So this is all sticky because it's got liquid latex on it. I'm going to add liquid latex around the side as well. I just want to make it so that if resin spills over, then it's not going to stick to the resin on the front. And part of the reason I'm doing that is because of this little area right here. The resin loves to spill into little like sharp corners and things, and that's a little sharp corner right there. And also because when I'm doming them, it's convenient to be able to pick them up and move them and stuff. And I want to be able to touch them with my like resin covered fingers. I don't want to make a mess. I mean, I'm gonna make a mess, but I don't want to make a mess on the sides or the front of these guys. When I domed the front, I literally just put this stuff along the sides. So I was like, if I get it on the back, I'm gonna be doming them anyways. The backs actually ended up being fine. I don't think I got too much on it. There was a couple of spots where the resin did spill over a little bit, but it ended up being okay. I did also figure with the backs that if I really needed to, I could sand the backs before doming them as well. It wouldn't be a big deal. Alright. There's that. I'm going to start pulling these over here. And I'm gonna grab them off of the thing. I'm setting them over on a little mat. I'm just putting them over there. Once I've got the sides, just so I can keep track of which ones I've done. If you didn't see, we're doing the backs of these shaker charms. We're going to be doming them, and I am coating the front and the sides with some liquid latex, just so that I don't get the resin on the sides or the front, because I don't want it there. And I tend to be pretty messy. Is my music? I can't even hear this song. I'm going to skip forward because I can't even hear this music. Maybe I should just turn it back up a little bit. I'm sure it's because I have... I'm sure it's because I have my heater going. And it's louder. The ironic part of this, to be honest, is that I'm allergic to latex. It's not a huge deal, though. I'm not, like, super allergic to it. It's just a case of, like, if I were to try and use liquid latex, like, if I try to use it for, like, making, you know, fake wounds or something on my skin, it will make me break out. I'm allergic to some just adhesives. I don't know if it's because they're latex based or what, but I remember when I did like theater and stuff in school, some of the like random like tape and stuff that they'd use, like microphone tape, it would give me like a rash. So it's nothing new. Just unfortunate. Apparently, so I've been allergic to bananas for a long time. Apparently that can be tied to a latex allergy too. So if you're allergic to bananas, like I am, you might also be allergic to latex. Apparently it's not, bananas apparently don't have, I think, if I'm remembering correctly, it's not because bananas have latex in them. It's because bananas have like like an enzyme or something that's very similar in like compound to latex. And so the body's just like, oh yes, these are the same thing. They're not actually the same thing, but the body seems to think that they are. I feel like maybe my banana allergy has gotten better though. Oh, kiwi allergy is prevalent with latex allergy? I mean, this is going to sound weird, but kiwis make everyone's mouth hurt, right? Because I like kiwis. With bananas, it makes my mouth, my throat itch. But I don't know, I don't think I've ever had a problem with kiwis. I have had a problem with like almonds and pecans. I don't know, there's a few different fruits that I'm allergic to. The really unfortunate one is melons. I really like watermelon and honeydew and all those things, but those are some of the worst. They just, boy, did they make my mouth itch. You're allergic to kiwi and latex. Weird. I don't know, maybe it's just a bunch of different fruits. Yeah, luckily it's not a super strong allergy. I'm fine using the liquid latex for this. I'm not too worried about getting it on my skin or anything. Which is good because I have, apparently. You're also not super allergic. That's good. But yeah, if I had to, like, if I was using it on my skin for a long period of time, it would be a problem. These ones I kind of want to fill in between the fingers, because like the other, like the clock, like I was saying, the resin most likes to kind of spill over into, oops, well, I've just gotten latex all over the back, which is not where I want it. I'll get that in a second. It likes to spill into like little sharp turns and things, sharp corners. Oh boy, I've gotten so much down the front of this thing. It's fine. It can be down the front of this thing, but I'm making a mess. But I don't particularly want it to stay on my skin. I think I have just stuck this to my fingers, but I wanted to I got some in the back here that I really want to get off. I don't want the latex to be on the back, because that's where we're going to be putting down resin. And the whole point of the latex is make it so the resin doesn't stick, and I want the resin to stick to the back. Well, now I'm just making a mess. Just a moment. What's new though, really? No, you're not supposed to go there. You're supposed to go down the side here. You're supposed to go where I want you to go, not where I don't want you to go. Now you're just making a mess. Oh boy. We'll come back to that in a second. I'm gonna get this side. I feel like it doesn't want to stick on the inside here very well. But we'll do the other place that I kind of want to make sure that I get is around the little glue-on bales that I have on some of these. I didn't glue bales onto all of these because some of these I will be able to drill and attach like a little eye pin to. But the ones where the walls are super thin, that's not going to happen. You know, I drill into the liquid core, and that's not what I need. But the bales here are a spot where basically kind of like the surface tension likes to get broken of the resin, and it'll try dripping down around it. There we go. If it's not perfect, it's okay. I just don't want any of the latex to be on the back. Let me get my the nice thing is that it does peel off of the skin quite easily. So I can get it off of my skin pretty well. I'm just going to set this down real quick, because I want to make sure that I don't have any on the back. I don't want it on the back here. No, thank you. This, I'll be honest, one of the clock face ones, so I'll show you which ones I mean. Okay. Yeah, stay back. I'm gonna call that good. We're just gonna get that out of the way. But one of these clock ones, I ended up remaking it like 3 different times. I ended up having to redo the front, because like the first time I did it, it didn't seal right. The plastic didn't. And then the next time I think I got like oil on it, and it was a mess. Anyways, it was a whole thing. Here's what happened, so you can see. I didn't put the latex on the backs when I was doing the fronts, so stuff like this happened, where it spilled over, and I had it on my little mat over here. I might be able to scrape some of that off. But I am going to be doming it here, so I'm not super worried. I just don't want it to be so tall that it like makes it like it sticks out from when I dome it. But I'm not too worried about it. There we go. So yeah, it looks a little bit messy, but it's gonna be fine. But let's here we'll do the back of this one, not the back, the sides of this one, and the little bits here where it connects to the top. Yeah, we'll see if I end up having to do a little bit more doming on some of the fronts of these to make sure everything's sealed in. I did kind of end up doing that on a few of, what's going on here? I kind of ended up doing that on a few of the other shaker charms that I've made. If I was really good at this, if I got good at this, hopefully I would only have to do it like once. And maybe not even have to, do the backs, but alas, I have not had nearly as many hours into making shaker charms as I have into making dice. I'm sure it's something that I would get better at if I put more time into it. To be fair, I have spent a fair amount of time making shaker charms now, because I went down a whole rabbit trail. I was having a great time. I'm still having a great time. I'm just also at this point kind of down to the wire. So it's a little bit more like, oh gosh, I gotta get things done. I'm hoping that this convention goes well, though. Because it's going to be a little bit different. I don't have an Artist Alley table. To be fair, it was a weird setup last year too. So I went to this convention last year, and the whole kind of Artist Alley setup was weird. So it was in a hallway, and all of the tables, the Artist Alley tables, are against the wall in this hallway, and then there's chairs on there was chairs on either sides of the tables, and it was so cramped. But also it's just weird being on the side of the table instead of behind the table. I feel like a lot of conventions that I've done, you've got a table and then you sit behind it. Whereas on this one, you're sitting to the side of it. I don't know, it was just kind of weird. Felt different from what I was used to when it came to conventions and events and things. I mean, it went fairly well last year, but so this year, instead of doing that, the artist alley where we're in the hallway, very cramped, me and literally the artist that was next to me at RadCon last year, which is the convention I'll be at. If anyone's in the Pasco, Washington area, feel free to come say hi. Me and literally the artist that was next to me last year, we decided to go halvesies on one of the, it's at a hotel, so there's a hallway that leads to then a whole wing of the hotel, and you could basically rent the rooms to act as shops for the weekend. And so me and this other artist, we went halvesies, and we're getting one of those spaces this year. So we'll have a lot more space and a lot more flexibility in what we want to do as far as setup and stuff goes. But since there's, so much more space, I kind of felt like I wanted to get other things made, just so I had more things to put out on tables and stuff. And then also, since there's two of us, we're doing some collab stuff. And I'm making these shaker charms. Not all of the shaker charms, but these ones where there's 3 of the same one. I'm making these to go with some prints of his. And then he's making some character sheets to go with some of my dice, which is super cool. Here's a question. This is what I was trying to figure out. So, we were trying to figure out pricing for, the art print and shaker charm combo. What do you think would be a reasonable price for a really cool art print, really nice art, and then also a shaker charm that kind of matches that art? I don't know. Because I was thinking, it's kind of a bundled deal, I was originally thinking, it's a bundle deal, you get a certain amount off, basically, by getting both. But at the same time, now that I'm, oops, this is the wrong side. Now that I'm thinking about it, the shaker charms, at the very least, are a kind of exclusive, exclusive thing, right? With the bundle. So, I don't know. Also, how much are art prints usually? I don't do art prints, obviously. I also don't buy a lot of art prints, but what's kind of the going rate for them? Because, I have a sneaking suspicion that the person I'm sharing a room with should raise prices, but I don't know. I guess it depends on what people are willing to pay, too. I'm doing this just so I can get it to that side. Some are cheap, some are hundreds. That's fair. That's fair. No, fair. Yeah, I don't know enough about prints and how they're usually priced. You paid $600 for a print you love? Alright. Yeah, fair. Was it here's a question for you. How big was the print? I don't actually know standard sizes of prints or anything either. I know so little about art prints. You'd think with the number of, well, I'm not doing too many shows this year. I literally only plan to do 2 different shows, like 2 different things this year for selling my stuff, like in person, as well as an in-person like resin class thing. 30 by, oh, okay. So it was pretty big. 30, yeah, so that's pretty big. This is unrelated to my musings on pricing, but what was it an art print of? Now I'm just curious. Now I'm just curious what you got a cool print of. I am like a weird person, I guess. I don't usually do like merch things just in general. Like I love seeing like fan art and things. I think fan art's so cool. But when it comes to like, I don't know, owning things that are based on different like properties and stuff, pretty much the only kind of like merch or fan art that I actually like get is books or things that no one would be able to tell is merch. Like I have, you know, like, you know, like behind the scenes, like you know, art books and things. Like I think art books are cool, and like behind the scenes books for various things. Like, to be fair, I've got nothing against other people having merch. I don't know why I'm not like a fan of having it. I don't know. I think it's because I don't want people to question like what I don't want to have to explain to people what I'm interested in. I think that's probably what it is. And I think also maybe the book thing is because if I like something, I want like information about it. If that makes sense? Like more than anything. I think maybe that's why I maybe gravitate towards like art books or behind the scenes books and things. It's because, I don't know, I like finding out more info about the things that I'm interested in. But I don't necessarily want to like wear it. Stephen Harlan, I don't know what that is. Is that, what is that from? That, yeah. See, my problem is that I don't like telling people about things that I enjoy, but also like, I can't shut up about things that I enjoy. Light and shadow pictures. Oh, that's cool. The name sounds like familiar, but I can't think of. Who it is. Now I'm gonna have to look up this person. To be fair, I do have I guess I was thinking mostly Google's Pics, really cool. Key West Gallery. Okay. Yeah, excuse me a moment. Let me set that down. I have something very important I need to do, everybody. It's knocked. Apparently that thing has knocked things over behind the camera. Let me Google. Stephen Harlan. Harlan art. Oh. There's lots of pictures of boats. Is it the like, oh, okay. These are cool. lots of boats and like very like bright like primary color things. Very tropical. I'm assuming I'm looking at the correct thing. Wait, so what medium is he working in? Just a second. Okay, just a second. What medium is this? Technique. Yours is a daybreak picture of a living room over water. Oh, so it's painting. Okay. What is it? What kind of paint is he using? Is it acrylic? Oh, it's digital. Okay. Okay, it's digital art. Okay. Yeah. Man, I want to do more painting. I want to do more oil painting. It's been so long since I've done any oil painting, and it's so much fun. This is the fun fact about me. My favorite medium is not resin. My favorite medium is paint. I really enjoy painting. I also promised myself a long while back that I would never paint for a living, because I enjoy it too much, and I never want it to be my job. So I'm perfectly happy having resin be my job, and then painting being my hobby. The unfortunate thing is now that I don't find time to paint. But I've got some. I think I've made the mistake of trying. I think part of the reason I haven't done any painting recently is just because I keep thinking that, oh, I should do it for my job, because I'm like, oh, I should film painting that. I think I should just sit down and paint. Honestly, I need to just keep it as a, not worry about filming it. I have an idea for a painting I want to do, and I should just do it at some point. I think I could just do it in a day. I think it'd be, actually no, I wouldn't be able to do it in a day, because I want to do it in oil. I think I'd need to do it, I'd need the oil to dry, not dry, cure. I'd need the oil to cure, so if I could do like a secondary thing. My other thing with painting is, I mean, as much as I just enjoy, I enjoy just painting like a still life or something abstract. But let's be real, my favorite thing to do when it comes to painting is doing weird things that are like manipulating the canvas in some way, or are multimedia in some way. You know, like gluing things to the canvas, sewing things into the canvas, cutting the canvas away in some way. I've got an idea for a painting that I want to do, and it would require cutting into the canvas, but I think I want to do the actual cutting into the canvas maybe after I do kind of like an initial painting, and then I would go back in and cut some stuff away and then do some more painting. So I'd have to, I wouldn't be able to do it in just one day. I did get some stuff that speeds up oil paints curing though, because like, left to their own devices. Why is there foil on the back of this? Just a second here. If just like left as is, oil paints will take like 2 weeks to dry. But I got some stuff that makes it take like 24 hours. So I'm just getting some, oh, I should do this down here where you can kind of see what I'm doing. There was little bits of Why is there a cat hair there? Little bits of foil on the back of here. I think it's because I was using foil. I think it's from these. Because I was pouring things, you know, all around the same time, and I got foil stuck to my little fingers. And then when I was like unmolding things, I got it stuck to the resin. Yeah, the resin over here too. Okay, that's better. That is the thing when it comes to, sorry, I'm going back to an earlier conversation, but that is the thing when it comes to like pricing art. There is like such a range. Like that's one of the things that like makes it difficult to price things, is there's such a range of prices. Like just based on like who the artist is and like medium somewhat, and I don't know. Like I remember when I first was like, oh, I should sell some dice. I went looking to try and figure out how to price them, and I found sets of dice that were like $30, and I found sets of dice that were like $1,000. It was just like, oh no. Let's find somewhere in the middle of that. To be fair, my prices have gone up a lot since I first started too, but also my quality's gone up since then. And also I realized how much time it actually takes, and that there's other costs that I have to keep in mind, but it's still one of the things that one of my least favorite parts is figuring out pricing. I don't know. Man, it would be nice to be able to do the YouTube stuff and not have to worry about First Light, but oh, okay. First Light by Stephen Harlan. All right. I'll probably look that one up later. I want to get these all coded. You were lost in Google. Fair. Gotta find the thing you're talking about. Why is the back of this all kind of... Just get the back of that a little bit. No, I am the person at work that is always Googling things. It's almost kind of I feel like it's maybe a little bit of a joke among some of my coworkers that like I'm just always Googling things, because I'm like, oh, I don't know, let me look it up. You know, something will come up in conversation and I'm just like, I don't know. Let me go Google it. I don't know. Let's find out. No one knows. I want to know more information about this random shark that was just brought up in conversation. I don't know about this shark. I just like knowing about how the world works. Alright. Just fill that in a little bit. I feel like I haven't, I used to just get like stuck down like Google rabbit trails of things too. I guess to be fair, it's just, you know, my normal pattern of like, I get super obsessed with like one thing, and then find out probably far too much about it. Whether that is, you know, a TV show or a musical or a band or any number of things. Usually it's some piece of media, not always. And then find out far too much about it, and then move on to something else. what is probably my current thing is probably still, I don't know. Some things are more fleeting, I suppose. I watched Gravity Falls for the first time a couple months ago. I guess it was a few months ago, because it was definitely before December. Got super into that for like, you know, a little while. I mean, art is just like a thing that I'm always into. And always have been. Probably always will be. I do like doing art. Different kinds of art. I was having a conversation with my brother in the car recently. Because I was, you know, we're driving somewhere and the clouds were really pretty. And, you know, the sky was just pretty colors and stuff. And I was telling him that I've realized that I tend to think about things like that in terms of painting. And just, like, color, like, how the colors are playing together. And what are the actual, like, colors there and not, like, their relative colors. Which sounds weird, but, like, if you look at the sky and you're like, wow, you look at the blue into like the orange and stuff, it's possible it's not actually orange. It's just more orange than the rest of the blue around it, and so it feels orange. Like, color is weird. Color is strangely relative to its surroundings. But yeah, I don't know. I tend to think of things in terms of art. But I don't know. I've always liked art and the arts. I think it'd be fun to do, I don't know, some more acting stuff. I did some of that as a kid. I did, you know, local theater. That was fun. I don't know that I was ever very good at it, but it was fun. At this point, I think it'd be fun to do, like, voice acting stuff. The problem with that, so I took a voice acting class during the pandemic, just via Zoom. It was actually quite fun. I was not very good at character stuff. I was not very good at, like, the character stuff. I think, pretty good at the commercial stuff. I feel like I was pretty good at the commercial reads. I realized, I think, recently why, and it's because with, like, character stuff, you're pretending to be, like, a different person. With the commercial reads, you're still yourself, you're just pretending to talk to a different person. Like, and that just makes more sense to me. It's just like, yeah, I can change how I'm talking based on, you know, the setting that I'm in. You know, if you're trying to sell, I don't know, Lego to a kid, you're going to be emphasizing different things than if you're trying to sell it to a kid's parents, for example. So thinking of, like, the demographic of the people that you're talking to, stuff like that, I'm like, yeah, I could do that. That makes sense to me. Saying, you know, read this, like, read this so that it seems appealing to a kid versus read this so that it's appealing to a parent. That, you know, that makes sense. You know, for a kid, you're going to emphasize, like, how fun it is and how cool it is. For a parent, you're going to emphasize how safe it is and how affordable it is, you know, things like that. Whereas with, like, the character stuff, I don't know. I feel like I've never been very good at getting my, like, understanding the characters. I do think I did take a theater class when I was away at uni, and I do think that helped. Like, I feel like I liked that kind of school of acting, because one of the main things there was breaking things up into, I don't know, it was more analytical, I think, of breaking down scenes and things. And that did well with my brain, like, actually taking the time to break things down. I think that's my other problem, is, like, it just takes me a minute to, like, kind of stop and think about what needs to happen. I don't know. But one of the things that I really liked in that method was that basically your character should always have a goal, and it should always be something that is like a measurable goal. So like your goal can't be, I want to make the other person mad, for example. I want to make this other character mad, because that's not really measurable. Like there's no like set quantifiable mad. But you could say, my goal is to have this other person walk out the door. That's something that you can measure. There's no opinion there on whether they've walked out the door or not. You can see that they have walked out the door. And I liked that. I thought that was really good for, like, helping to like, break down, like, a character and, help you figure out how you're going to try and accomplish that goal. That was basically the thing. It's basically give your character a goal, and then you broke up the scene or whatever into beats, and that was basically whenever like new information or something changes, whenever anything changes or you're given new information or something, it's a new beat. And if you have a new beat, try a different method of getting to your goal. Basically, like and that was it was kind of cool because like I remember there was a couple of, I think they were grad students that were helping with the class, but we had kind of like a lecture and then kind of like a what's it called? I can't think what it is. But there was both the section where, you know, the teacher's talking and explaining things, and then also the section where you are working with other people, basically to do scenes and things. I can't think of what the word is right now. But I think that it was a couple of grad students or something, or maybe just theater majors, I don't know, that were helping out with the class by giving examples and things. So I remember at one point they were showing basically how differently they could play the same scene, and they were pretty much just doing it by changing up like their characters' motives and also the methods that they were using to try and complete those things. So, you know, anger versus being angry at the other character versus I don't know, trying to seduce them or something. I don't know. It very much made me realize just how much an actor can affect a character and also a scene. Because, like, you know, it's like these are two complete, like, this is the exact same script, but these are two completely different scenes that you just did. It's the exact same script, but I don't know. It was cool. I don't think I was ever very good at acting. As much fun as it was. That might be something, though, you know, I don't know. Maybe that's something that I could get better at if I practiced it, you know what I mean? I feel like that's maybe one of those, a lot of art, I feel like, is like, people feel like you need to have, like, a supernatural, like, oh, you're gonna be gifted with it from the time you were born type thing when it comes to art, but like a lot of stuff you can learn. Like people like to say, oh, I could never do that. It's like, I don't know. You could probably get pretty good at drawing if you drew every day. A lot of people probably are that are good at drawing because they just started young. I feel like that's how it is with lots of things, you know? It's like learning languages. I think part of the reason that it maybe is easier to learn languages when you're young is just that you've got more time to do it. And also, you're probably less afraid to mess up at it. So I am hoping to pour resin today on stream. I will say, I may or may not actually pour the resin on stream, partially because I've had kind of like a sore throat, like off and on for the past like couple weeks. I don't know. It's just a sore throat. I don't know if it's because it's like dry out or what. It's very dry here. But if at some point I lose my voice, I may not actually pour the things on stream. But let's get these all done, and then we're gonna work on finding things for our new molds. So we've got new skulls and new birds, and I want to use fun things in them. So maybe you guys could help me pick like some colors to use, because I kind of like some ideas for designs, but I don't have a plan for what colors I want to use in those designs. I will say, if you are watching this after the fact, so if you're watching this as like a YouTube video and it's like not live anymore, you can also leave ideas in like the comments section. I do read like all of the comments on my YouTube channel. So like if you've got like an idea for something, I would love to hear it, and then maybe I could make it at some point on my own. Cause that'd be pretty cool. I'm always open to new ideas for things. But at the moment, I am just filling in the spines of a hedgehog. Alright. Got two more past this, I think. Just the two little Tamagotchi guys to fill in. I'm sure I don't know. Alright. Tamagotchi number 1. This is another way for me to rest my voice, is just not talking. I always figure though that people probably have streams on in like the background, so probably listen to streams more than they watch them, which is why I talk incessantly in them. I'm also just tired today. Probably stayed up later than I should have. I didn't stay up like super late, but I did have to get up this morning, so you know, probably shouldn't have stayed up as late as I did. Alright, there's that one. Last one. Last one, and then we'll pull out all the fun things. So, here's something to start thinking about. What color feather should we use? Because I want to put a feather in one of the birds. I felt like that was a fitting inclusion for one of the birds. I've got a bunch of different colors. I've got, well, I could pull them down. I'll pull them down so you guys can see in a second, but I've got lots of different colors. I'm thinking with the feather, we're going to do like a reverse Petrie. That was my plan. So basically do the feather, we'll add a little tiny bit of resin to just kind of cover it a little bit, and then we're going to add ink, and then we're going to add the resin over the top of that so that it kind of gets displaced and swirls up. Maybe we could do like a dark blue and then do like a light blue. I don't know. Maybe dark blue feather and then like light blue reverse Petrie and maybe a little bit of green or purple or something, or all three. Could do that. I don't know. It might be fun to do something with the. I was thinking with the I want to do one with mylar. All right, there's those. That should be all of those. So let's. That should be all of that I need to do. So I've got. Let's figure out our stuff for our new little molds. I've got new little skull molds. I've got new little bird molds. If you haven't seen them, here's what they make: little skull, little bird. They're very cute. For one of the skulls, I want to use some mylar, and for one of the birds, I want to use feathers. I do have some like partially mangled feathers here. I was thinking, what if we used like the dark blue, maybe? Oops. Maybe a dark blue in one of the birds. I think that would be cool. I have a bunch of colors though. I got just like a big bag of different colored feathers recently, so I've got all sorts of different things. Yellow could be cool. I do also have some feathers that are like natural type. Here. Like, I've got these that have like a, they're just like actual like feathers. They've got different natural designs on them. Could do something with one of those. But also smaller, so like, I don't know, could show up. But I feel like I'm gonna do a reverse Petrie with like a fun color. I might as well do a fun colored feather. I'm kind of thinking dark blue. I could do light blue and then do like a dark color. You know, I don't. That could be an option too. But there is other colors here. I could do like orange or bright red, lime green. Lime green could be fun. Could do lime green and then like other dark greens and then like teal behind it maybe. That could be fun, like lime green with like teal behind it. Or I could do like the light pink with like oranges and stuff behind it. That could be pretty. What are we thinking? At the moment I'm thinking dark blue, but there's so many options there. I'm not sold on any one of them. And then for one of the skulls, I want to use some mylar. I do have. You vote blue? Okay. If two of us vote blue. Oh, it's in your name, of course. Like I've got this mylar. I could just use a piece of this. I've got this mylar. I could just use a piece of this bag, though. I might just use a piece of that bag. Actually, wait. I'm trying to think of what I'm going to bring with me to this event. I think I'm going to use the other mylar, actually. I'm going to use a piece of this. Just because I think I will probably bring this other stuff with me to the actual event. Come on. I don't know why the scissors like stuck to it. Alright. So I don't need that to be super big, I don't think. I'm thinking it'll, because I'm going to scrunch it up so that it's like that. And then that's going to go in here. I'm going to dip it in resin before I actually put it in here. And then I'm thinking maybe like a really dark mica. So kind of like a mica drop, like I don't know, like down around it or behind it. Because I'm thinking a dark color behind it will really make it the colors in there pop. Alright, so let's go with the dark blue. One of the birds. Let me put it this way. So, got our Mylar there. I did also realize that I've got some tinsel over here. And I was thinking I could put that into maybe the other skull. That could be good. I don't know what I also want to put in the other skull with it, but I figure let's at least put this tinsel in there, because why not? All the tinsel. Alright. It's a lot of tinsel, but we're throwing it all in there. It's also blue. Let's see. I feel like I could use something in the middle, maybe. I could add like a different inclusion of some sort in this one. Or do like maybe a peach tree through that would be cool. Maybe we do a peach tree. So I'm thinking peach tree through the tinsel, maybe a mica drop with the mylar, and maybe do I use my phthalo blue? I like my phthalo blue. It's like a deep like blue, kind of purpley blue color. Are we just making a bunch of blue things? I'm thinking maybe like green through this one. Some greens. A green peachy down through here. I'm thinking phthalo blue, maybe like a dark, something like a little bit like more, I'm thinking like a really, maybe like this eggplant purple. It's super dark in there as well. I feel like that might be kind of good. Alright, and then we put a piece of feather in here. It's going to be a funky piece of feather since I've already cut off a piece of feather from this before. But I figure it's going to get, I could use a bigger piece probably. I don't know. Yeah, let's just see how this one looks in here. Yeah, it might not matter. Actually, it might be kind of cool, because I think it might kind of go along where like the wings are, and then I can stuff it back into the tail. Here, let me just try. I'm gonna try putting this in so that the front of the feather's at like the beak, and then like the back of the feather's at like the tail. Or, I don't know, it's kind of swirling around in there. Yeah. It'd be better if I used the front part of a feather. Or maybe put it sideways or something. Actually, there we go. I think that might work. Yeah, we'll do that. I don't know. You can kind of see it's in there. And then I'm gonna do a reverse Petrie on that one. I think it may be like a light blue. My sky Sky blue? That's cobalt. Where's my sky blue? Lake could work. Oh, here's the sky blue. There's my sky blue. And we'll do white in there as well. And then what else did I want to do? I wanted to do, oh, you know what I wanted to do? I wanted to do a dirty pour. And I think I want to do that with some just random, like, various colors. I'm thinking maybe different colors of ink. So maybe just like white resin and then different colors of ink. I could do like a rainbow one. So use like a cyan here. Like a cyan, a yellow, and a pink. So maybe like those. And just do that over top of like white resin. I think that might be cool. So that'll be good. Okay. So we've got our dice. We've got those drying. On some of these, I do also want to kind of prop them up a little bit because they're not flat at the moment. Some of them have like little, like they've got pieces that stick out on them. So I want to make it so that they are flat. I also have a bunch of random colors here that are for the backs. So let me set my these guys off to the side real quick so that we can start getting all of our other things set up. That's going to be a Petri. We've got our examples. Okay. What did I say I was going to set up next? Was I going to make these flat? Is that what I was doing? Okay, for these, that's just going to be clear resin. Guys, I don't know. My brain is dead today. Let's get these kind of set up, I think. Actually, no, let's start putting things into our mixing cups because these are still drying. Some of them are. So I need to get some of these things into the little mixing cups. Here's our shimmery pink that's going to be for this guy over here, this Tamagotchi, to help it kind of match the front, since the front is all pink. You know, if I really wanted it to match, I should also make it glow in the dark. Actually, let's add a little bit of shimmer. I'm also going to add some, let's add some glow in the dark powder too. Let's see which color here. It might be, that one might be better. Just a second. One of these is, which one is the glow in the dark? Okay, it's not that one. So these are all glow in the dark colors. I'm trying to find these guys here who they're also glow in the dark colors. No, that's not it. I'm so nervous to dig in here now ever since there was a spider in here. Is this the pink? That's that one. That could work. I'm trying to figure out where the mauve is. Is this? Nope, that's not it. That's mica. Where's the mauve? there it is. That one might be closer. Actually, I think the pink, well, it's kind of in between the two. I think maybe a little bit of the pink. I think a little bit of the pink would be better in there. So let's add a little bit of the pink glow-in-the-dark powder too, because this glitter at the front glows in the dark. So let's make it match. Let's put that down there. Just a little bit. It doesn't need very much, I don't think. Alright, there's that. Normally my problem with glow-in-the-dark powder is that it sinks, but this is going on flat, so it's not really going to matter. Alright, we've got that. For this guy here, we're going to do more of the green on the back. Although, I could do clear. I was debating between green and clear, because I could do clear and then have this just be all see-through all the way, but I think green. Yeah, I think green. Kind of, you know, give it a background. If I can open the green pigment. Okay, there we go. Got it. Okay, there we go. There's that. This one I want to do blue. That's this one here. Oh, I do also have, I started doing an eye. This is also for a shaker. I was gonna do like a really dark, like a black or a blue or something. That's the background. Maybe like a really dark blue. I don't know. That's a if we have leftover resin type deal. There we go. There's some blue for this one. And then I do also have this one here, but that's going to be a liquid colorant, so that will get added after I have the resin in there. I do need like a stir stick though. All right. And then we've got also our black, which will be added after as well. Why? What was oily? Why is there oil? I don't need oil. Let me get a few more stir sticks. I need them for the what's going to be the white, and also what's going to be the mica for the skull over here. Let me just grab a couple of stir sticks, and then I think that'll be everything that needs a stir stick. Oh, and then I guess maybe I'll grab one for our rocks over here for one of the D20 blanks that I'm working on. All right. I think that is everything. I think that's everything. Well, gotta put this in here. Let me put our mica in here. I will see how much. I'm not 100% sure how much resin it's gonna take to dome these. So some of these things are going to be like, if we have enough resin, we'll do them. I think we'll have plenty though. Oh, you know what I might also add with that really dark purple? I might add some of like these, the multi-chrome flakes. Let's add a bunch of those. Okay. I think I'm putting off pouring resin because there's so many different projects going on, my brain can't handle it. Alright. Plan of attack is... let me just go through the plan of attack. The order that we're going to do things in, because I think that'll help my brain. We'll mix up our 100 milliliters of resin. We will then put clear resin into our two D20 blanks over here, which I need to film. We'll mix up all of our stuff, and then we will dome everything and fill everything. Oh, my brain is not working. Okay, I think that is pretty much the plan. I think actually a lot of our stuff is almost dry, so that's pretty much ready to go too. I just want to make sure that I have room for the camera. I think that's the other thing that's stressing me out, is that I'm trying to film things at the same time as streaming them. I used to do it all the time. I don't know what my problem is. I used to work on commissions on stream all the time. I don't know why it's stressing me out now. But I think we are ready to mix up some resin. Alright. Do let me know if the music gets too loud, because I am going to become a little bit more muffled now, because I'm going to be using a respirator. Before I do that though, let me, do I have any more tea in here? I do have a little bit more tea in here. I might go take a quick bio break too, right before we mix up our resin, just so that I don't need to do it like in the middle of pouring on the resin. So give me half a second and I will be right back, and then we will mix up all of our resin and get things going. I'm back. I'm back. There we go. All right. Also got dinner plans figured out while I was gone. All right. Let's get some resin poured. So, like I said, I am going to be a little bit muffled for the rest of the stream. So, if it gets confused, like hard to hear me or anything with the music going, just let me know and I'll turn it off.
But I am going to stand like this. I don't know. Is it? Let me know if it's difficult to hear me. There's all sorts of liquid latex all over the place. All right. I'm gonna grab my gloves as well. Oh, feels like this is just not. Why is it choking me today? There we go. Alright, I'm going to go a little bit quiet here for a minute, just because trying to hold a conversation and measure resin at the same time, will not go well. Feels like it's not sitting right. Feels like it's, wrong on my face. Why is it? Feels like it's just tight around my neck. I don't like it, but I must wear it. It is only safe. Alright, yes, I'm gonna go a little quiet now while I measure out resin, just because I don't want to make a huge mess, and I will. So feel free to chat amongst yourselves. If I missed anything interesting on the Super Bowl, I don't. Any good Super Bowl commercials this year? The most important things to get done today are the shakers that I need for this next weekend and the D20s. I'd like to get the D20s done because that means that I can get all of the dice for that commission poured later this week all at the same time. So get those blanks done and then I can get things put together. Alright, let me get the hardener poured in here. Alright, I think that's looking good. Yep, I think that's looking even. Alright, this will take a minute. We gotta mix this all up so we can go back to chatting. Oh, yeah. So I've got a few. Let's see. I gotta figure out what I'm editing next. I think the next video I'm gonna edit is the Undertale dice that I posted a picture of on social media recently. I started organizing the video footage for those though, and it was like, oh gosh, I've got so many hours of footage. That is the thing when it comes to the super complicated sets of dice, is I don't know. It's always weird figuring out how to price them. I probably undercharge for some of the complicated things that I do, just because of the number of hours. Because, I don't know, think, like, so let's see, an 8-piece set, let's say it took, like, 14 hours, I think I have, like, probably 12 hours of video footage, we'll say. I might have, like, closer to 14 hours of video footage. That's just the video footage that I have. That's not how long it actually took. So, let's say it took, like, 15 hours for the set of dice. What's 15 times 20, for example? Or 15 times, we can just do 15 times 15, I suppose. I mean, I guess 15 times 10 is 150, plus another, 25, plus another, what, 75? So that'd only be 175, right? 15 times 15? 15 times 15, 175? Did I do that math right? $30, $60, yeah, so I guess it's only 175. So maybe I am charging correctly. It'd probably be better to say about $20 an hour than 15, but there's other expenses and things in there. That's just time. So maybe like, I guess 20 times 15 is going to be 300 though. 2 times 15 would be 30, and I definitely don't charge that. Wait, how is that mathed out? That doesn't seem right. 15 times 15 is... I feel like I've done some math wrong. So, no, I guess that's almost 200, and then 20 would be like 300. Okay. I think for a like a complicated set of dice, it's like 220 or something that I charge for, like the most that I charge for like a set of dice is like 220 for just a regular set of dice that's complicated. I don't know, like I said, when I was first looking at, like, to be fair, when I first looked up on, like handmade dice, my first thought was, why are these so expensive? That was before I started making them. But it was just like, my goodness, why did these cost so much? That's crazy. And then I started making them, and I'm like, I see why they cost so much. There's so much time that goes into these. But yeah, the commissions are... I enjoy doing commissions, but they're definitely more work than pre-made sets. And I haven't really made too many pre-made sets recently either. I've been focusing on other things. I have a bunch of like unsanded pre-made sets, and I still enjoy making dice. I've just been more focused on like making other little things for conventions and events that I've got coming up this year, and then also on commissions. And then I'd like to focus more on like the YouTube videos. That's really what I'd like to do. I kind of want to take a step back from making a bunch of things. So like all the shaker charms, the shaker charms have been really fun. I've had a lot of fun making the shaker charms. But I'd like to take a step back from making just a bunch of random shaker charms or a bunch of sets of dice, and like be able to focus on the YouTube channel and making like individual videos that I think are fun, like go into with a video first sort of view than a item first sort of view. Think up like a cool video idea and then make stuff to fit that idea, as opposed to make stuff and then try to make a video about making the stuff. You know what I mean? But I don't know, I think once I'm only planning to do 2 events this year, unless just by some random, like, craziness, I, like, completely sell out at this first event. I'm figuring that I'm not going to make a bunch of stuff for my second event. I'll probably still have a bunch that I'll just bring with me. And I've been trying to make a bunch of, like, extra things, since I'm going to have more space at this event than I will at, like, the second one. It's not exactly what happens. I'm not signed up for it or anything. I'm just hoping to do it again this year. Because it went really well last year. How's this feeling? I'm looking in here to see if there's any like streaks, because that's how I can tell that part A and part B are sitting next to each other and not actually mixed together. I feel like I could use a little bit more mixing. It's always hard to tell. Like, to be fair, I'm not too worried about over mixing it, because any of the thicker things, so like the skulls and the birds and the dice, they're going to go into the pressure pot, and that's going to help get rid of the bubbles. And then the shaker charms that we're going to be doming, it's going to be such a thin layer of resin that it'll be pretty easy for the bubbles to escape. So I'm not super worried about adding extra air to my resin. It's not going to be a huge issue. I think we might be good. Let me just scrape off my stir stick and scrape the sides one last time, and then we'll call it good. We'll start divvying it up into our different cups and things. I just want to make sure I don't have any, like a big glob of part A or part B stuck to the stir stick or stuck to the side somewhere. I do realize that it's like, you know, bad practice to scrape out my mixing cup into, you know, my other things. Like, pouring it out is good, is fine, but like scraping it out, like, it's kind of not best practice, just because if there is a glob of part A or part B somewhere in there, then you end up with, you know, uncured resin. I've never really had a problem though. I feel like I haven't really run into any issues where I've had a big glob of part A or part B, so I'm just continuing to not do it the smart way. I don't think I'm seeing any streaks in there, so I think we might be good. Alright, let's start divvying things up. So, I'm trying to remember. No, wait, we can use that as a. I'm trying to remember about how much resin it takes to dome something. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So maybe I'd go for about 20 milliliters of the black. I think 20 milliliters of the black, at least for now, seems reasonable. I'm going to start splitting things up. So we're going to put 20 milliliters in here. That's probably about 15. Is it about 15? Oh, nope, that was way more than 20. Well, that's fine. That was closer to 30. I'm used to pouring 30 into there. Oops. I might have just poured too much back in here. Oh, no, that's perfect. There's 20 milliliters of that we'll use for the black. Let me put the clear into our D20s real quick, I think. Just so I can get these out of the way and also get the camera out of the way. Alright. The reason that I'm using the camera that I'm using is because I am not worried about getting resin on it. I do sometimes wonder what I'm going to do if this camera dies someday. I think I'd need to get another, like, cheap, I don't know if this is cheap, but like just a little camcorder. I just want a little bit of resin in there to hold things down. I'm just going to put these both on the... This is the moss and the flowers. And I just want to add a little bit of clear resin to kind of tack things down in there. Just want things just kind of stay in place. Alright, we'll do our red rocks now too though. We'll add I'm going to add some clear resin to the rocks themselves. Normally I try to like split things up. I try to split the resin up kind of early. because I don't like keeping a lot of it in the mixing cup, but I just want to get these out of the way. I think some of that paint is... Let me just get some of these rocks put in here. And again, I don't need a ton of resin because I'm just kind of trying to get things to sit where I want them to sit. The nice thing about the polymer clay is that, oh, come on, is it does tend to sink. It's like slightly more dense than the resin. Not so much that I'm worried about it like weighting things like actual rocks would, but it does tend to go to the bottom, which is what I want in this case. And a couple more small pieces in there, and then I think maybe I might just add the teeth in here too, and kind of hold them in place maybe a little bit. I was thinking I'd try to put 3 in there. I don't know if I'm going to fit 3. I might just fit 1. Which one? I think 2 at the very least. We'll put a couple in there. I want to put them so they look kind of natural. There we go. Perfect. You know what I might also do now that I'm just gonna set this out of the way. Don't need that anymore. Now that gives us more room. Let's see if I can show you what we've just done. We've got 2 teeth in there. I kind of tried to stagger them a little bit so it just kind of looks like they're resting there kind of naturally. We do have leftover rocks and leftover teeth, so I think I'm going to make a keychain. Okay. So I've got all the... I like to make keychains to go with commissions, so let's make a keychain that matches this by putting a bunch of red rocks in here. And we're going to put a tooth on top. Oh, okay. Okay, not all of the red rocks, because I want to have room for the tooth. Let me take out a couple. Alright. And then I'll grab a tooth as well. Let's see, which one do I want to use? I mean, this one looks pretty cool. So tell you what, I'm going to do the one that I don't like as much, which maybe sounds a little counterintuitive, but I think that it'll fit better in this shape of thing. I'm also going to fill this up the rest of the way with clear resin. And then throw it up here to also get here. You know what I might do is I might make a D6 that has the last little bit of red rock in it. I could also put put the last little bit of red rock in here. I could put a tooth in here too, I suppose. I was trying to hold on to maybe 2 of the teeth in case it didn't quite turn out how the person wanted. And then I would have... I think maybe I will just do the red rocks in here. Actually, I bet I could make... I wonder if... Oh, wait, no. You know what I should do? Maybe I should do it in a D6 blank. I'm thinking maybe I'd put it in a D6 blank, and maybe I make it like solid. Try to make it like solid of the rocks. I'm getting a little bit sidetracked here, I think. So maybe I grab, you know, some more of the rocks from over here and try and fill this thing in. I think that's maybe if we have enough like resin, we'll worry about that. Let's divvy some things up and get some things going though first. Let's see here. I think really what I should do is I should start with the things that I need to get domed, and then we will. Actually, I'm gonna have plenty of resin here. I'm gonna split some of this up. I don't want all of it in this big mixing cup. It's just going to warm up a lot quicker and then cause problems. So I'm gonna divvy off a little bit of it into some different cups. There's a cat hair in there. Get out of there. There we go. Oh, was that the whole playlist? That might have been the whole playlist. It's probably the whole playlist. Yep, looks like it. Alright, we're starting over. Alright, so let's dome some of these things that need to get domed. I want to get the ones that are for the project domed first. So I'm gonna worry about them first. I did completely forget that I mentioned that some of these I need to add clay underneath them, but I have the clay, so get off of there, latex. You're making it all weird. So we're just gonna add a little bit. Here, you know what I want to do? I'm gonna scoot some things over so you can see my little map here. So I want to put all the things that I need to get going on here. I think there's a little bit of stuff on here. Alright. I'm actually least concerned about these ones overflowing. So let me move those out of the way because they don't have any like sharp turns like these guys do. Alright. It doesn't take very much. I just want to add a little bit here. I just want to seal in those bales on some of these, and I want the things to be I don't want things to have like any sharp edges or anything like that. Like these ones, they don't even have any sharp, like they don't have any bales or anything to seal in, but like this one's a little bit funky on the back. I want to, you know, cover that up a bit and smooth things out. That's the goal here, smoothing things out. Oops, I spilled a little bit of resin. At least I didn't spill it on my sweater. I like this sweater. I don't want to get resin on this sweater. I've got plenty of sweaters that have resin on them. So I want to kind of go over the bale a little bit because I want to seal it in. I don't want it to drip down around it though. So that's kind of the line I'm trying to keep along. Yeah, we've got plenty of resin here. I'll dome everything else too. The least important thing to me here was doming the other things that aren't, you know, necessary for this specific project. But I will have plenty of resin here. I am still a little bit worried that maybe the fronts of some of these aren't domed very well. But that is a problem for future Liz. I will cross that bridge when this is cured and I can look at the other sides again. Oh, I also need to glue. I have some little bows for these that I want to glue onto the fronts. I think that'll be really cute. The main thing really is just making sure that everything is sealed and also like feels right. You know, I don't want any like sharp edges, like I said. Oops, let's get a little bit out there on. Alright. I need a little bit more resin on here. I can tell it's a little bit spotty in places. That was maybe more than I needed to add, but that's okay. I feel like it's not very flat on there. I probably could have cleaned off the backs of these too before going in with the resin. There's probably some oils and things for my hands and stuff that probably would have been good to get rid of, but oh well. It's too late now. Okay. I'm going to spritz these down with a little bit of rubbing alcohol. Help pop bubbles and things on there. Alright, I think I'm going to split up. I'm going to divvy up a little bit of this. I'm going to, let me put some of the clear, where's my tweezers that I like? There's the tweezers that I like. Let me put some of the things into these molds. So like the Mylar here, I'm going to dip that in the resin so that I can hopefully get air bubbles and stuff not trapped. Like, I don't want air bubble trapped in the Mylar. And this will hopefully help with that. Like, a few air bubbles is fine, but I don't want there to be like a big gap or something at like the top of the skull. Why is there so much cat hair? Alright. There's that. And I'm going to fill that in with some more clear resin. I'm going to squish that down for a second. So I'm going to fill it in with resin, then I'm going to kind of pick it up and move it around a bit. Okay. There we go. I want the Mylar to be kind of even throughout, I guess. I want to be able to see it from different angles and things. There we go. There we go. And let's see, after that I also want these. So we're going to mix up a little bit of mica as well. A little bit of resin with a lot of mica. Make that super saturated. Some mica. We also got our really dark purple over here that I mixed with some multichrome flakes. I'm not saying a lot of the multichrome flakes, but they're kind of poking through a little bit, which I think is kind of what I was going for. I think I'm mostly going to do the really dark color in the middle, and then I'm going to do the phthalo blue around the sides, and then I'll do the dark color in the very middle. and that should sink down in there. Got that out of the way. Got a little bit of leftover, and this is actually kind of perfect because I want to use this really dark purple, sparkly purple, I think, in this eye. So actually I might add a little tiny bit more resin to that. I don't need it to be super saturated anymore. But I'm going to throw that on here over this eye, because I want to do like a space eye. That was my thought. I had a whole idea. Might add a little bit of this blue as well, actually. I think that'll be pretty. And then I think maybe we'll just do black for the rest of it. But we've got a little bit of leftover. I'm going to set it off to the side for now. Along with our eye. Alright. Let's mix up our black, I think. I'm going to mix up our black resin to dome these other ones. I want to get these done just because they are for a thing and I need them. So I might add a little tiny bit more resin here too, just to make sure I have enough, but I think I should have plenty. So yeah, I should have plenty. I might need to get some more of this black resin pigment at some point. It's very good. If I can remember what it is. To be fair, I think it's just called resin pigment. I'm pretty sure I got it on Amazon, so I could go back and look through orders and things. I got it a long time ago, though, because a little bit goes a long way. That is, you know, I did a drop there, and all this resin is very much opaque now. I suppose I could use, you know, other things. I've got some black pigment powders and stuff, but there is something convenient about the liquid resin pigment. Alright. Alright, let's do these. Yeah, so I'm going to do these. So, I just want to kind of seal things in. The main goal is sealing everything in. So, I'll just do a little dollop on each one. I'm going to set these up here out of the way for a second so that I can focus on these guys. So I want to seal in these bales that I glued on. So I want to make sure that they stay and they're strong and supported. I also want to fill in all of these fingers because there's a lot of they're very sunken in just because of how the resin cured and things. I don't want any sharp edges, and they kind of have some sharp edges at the moment. There's a cat hair there. And I want them to be like flat on the back. I don't want them to feel wrong. These are the ones I was thinking of when I said that I don't want them to have any sharp spots. Because at the moment they kind of do. I probably could have sanded it down a little bit flatter, but... Alright, there's one. Next. Oh, you know which one I should do before the resin gets thick is the Petri. Oh, well, actually, it might work better. I feel like one of my so, I don't know, Petris are always a hit or miss for me. I feel like sometimes I do like too much ink and then the resin doesn't cure quite right, or I don't do enough ink and it doesn't do anything, or like I add too much and then it all sinks down to the bottom. So maybe honestly waiting a minute might be better, because then it won't all sink. I know if I wait too long though, it won't sink enough, and you won't get the cool like Petri sort of look. So let me get this hand. Let me get the all these ones that I need for next weekend, and then we'll do some of the skulls and birds. So that was what I advertised this stream as, was the skulls and birds, and I've not actually worked on the skulls and the birds very much this stream. They ended up being a rather small part of the stream. Alright, cool. So we've got those all done. I'm going to scoot these off to the side so that they're out of the way. These aren't, oops. Okay. These aren't going into the pressure pot, so we can just move them off to the side. Get out of the way. Scoot them down a little bit. Alright. That's it. Let me do these. These are the last three that I need for next weekend. So I want to make sure that they're looking good and ready to go. Alright. Alright. Okay. So we'll get these done, and then I want to do the Petri and maybe also the reverse Petri. Actually, the reverse Petri could probably wait a little bit, but I want to do the Petri into the skull that has the tinsel in it. And then but I do want to get the feather done as well. I don't want to wait, I don't want this stuff to get too thick though, the resin, while I'm doming things, because I feel like that might make it a little bit more, harder to spread. I will say, the other nice thing about using liquid latex is that basically it gives some traction. I can spread it on here without getting, this moving around a whole bunch. Because, before I started using liquid latex, that's something that liked to happen. I'd be trying to spread it and this whole thing would be sliding. But the liquid latex has been nice. Yeah, see, so I've got a bunch of black left. Let's fill in this eye the rest of the way. Let me. Do a little bit more blue. And then I'll fill it in. I want to fill in this with the with those colors, and then I'm going to fill it in with black. There we go. I think that's a pretty combo, actually. I'm liking that the dark kind of purple with the phthalo blue as like an accent. It's pretty. I will say, I think this mold is not very flat. I feel like it's, well, there we go. I'll grab out a piece of that clay I was talking about. I'm going to prop this up a little bit. There we go. That feels a little bit more flat. Alright, so like I was saying, some of these aren't the most flat. Here, I'm going to scoot some of these things over here. So I've got some clay over here that I can use to prop things up a little bit and help them be a little bit more even. There we go. Nice and flat. Maybe a little bit more so anyways. I'm just kind of giving it like a base. Something to rest upon. I'm hoping I didn't squish that too hard. This one's fine, this one's fine. This one is not flat at all. And there we go, that's a little bit better. Oopsies. I squished it and oil came out. That's my bad. That one's got problems. I will have to, I was worried that I was going to do that. This one might be okay, actually. That feels pretty flat. That one's got a problem now, but I'll worry about this guy, later. I'll set him over here for now. I squished him too hard. I mean, that's a good indicator that I hadn't, you know, sealed that one very well. Anyways, so, like I said, I'm probably going to go back and have to seal some of these. Oh, why am I doing this? I didn't want to do clear on these. I'm not thinking straight. It's fine. It's fine. I did want to do clear on this one. I didn't want to do clear on this one, though. It's fine. We can scrape it off. Alright. Let me mix up the colors. Alright, we've got our green for our little green one here. Yeah, I've got a lot of leftover clear, so I'm thinking maybe we will also probably maybe make some miscellaneous dice as well. I could use some more of those for my event that I've got coming up. I can always use more miscellaneous dice. So I do like to sell the raw dice at in-person events as well. He's dripping. Oh, I just said that I was going to do the I just said I was going to do the Petri instead of doing these, but that's okay. Honestly, I just wanted to get some of the, I want to get some of the resin out of the, of my big one, which I suppose would also be, it would also be good to do some of the things over on the side that I'm going to put some clear resin in, so. Oh, I was going to do flowers in one, I forgot about that. I didn't even read my list. I'm not reading my list. Okay, let's do the Petri real quick. So that I was going to do a skull here. It's got a bunch of tinsel in it. And I'm going to do a bunch of ink on top of it. That will then hopefully drip down into here. And I'll leave a little bit of space. I'm going to add a little bit of resin on top in a bit too. I'm also going to try and clean up this resin that I have here. Alright, so I'm just going to do a bunch of green ink. Let's do a drop of this one. And that's our lightest, so we'll do a couple drops of that one actually. We'll do a drop of this one. Actually, this might be our lightest. Oh my gosh. The problem with these bottles is that I can't open them. There we go. I got it. They've got like child safety lids. I don't know why they have like child safety lids. They're like impossible to open. Oh, there we go. I can't open them. This one's just so caked with ink that this one is just a mess. I don't know why this one makes such a mess, but it does. It's such a mess. So much green ink everywhere. Alright. Alright. So that's it. The white ink then, you know, makes things sink. I'm going to let that sit for a minute, and then I'm going to add a little bit more resin to it, just because I don't want all of the ink necessarily sitting right on the top there. I did realize, too, that I could pour some of this off over here. So I was going to make some white resin to do a ink dirty pour. So let's do that. That one we can wait until later, because dirty pours you want the resin to be a little bit thicker, just so that the colors will stay separated a bit. But we'll make our white resin. There we go. Got our white resin. So how much do I have here? Because I need about 10 milliliters. I can use a little bit more. I found that the birds have to take about 10 milliliters, maybe a little bit more even. So we'll add a little bit more. There. I'm not too worried about it being like super opaque white, because I think the colors will cover it up a little bit. Right. And then we can put clear in our one with the, actually I was going to do the feather, I was going to do a reverse Petri. Let me do a little tiny bit of resin in here, just to help protect the silicone. And then I'm going to do oops, a light blue reverse Petri in here. I think maybe I'll add a little drop of like teal too. I'm going to do a drop of white, a couple drops of white maybe. I might do a drop of teal as well. Oh my gosh, the white ink. All of the ink makes such a mess. Alright, and then we're going to pour a bunch of resin over that. So that it'll hopefully kind of squish up the sides and stuff. I don't know how well it'll work in the bird here, but we'll find out. I think it might be cool. I feel a little bit better about the amount of resin that I have left in my cup now. AKA, there's not nearly as much. Alright, we'll move the bird off over here. Why is my mylar floating? I don't want my mylar floating. I want it stuck in. Get in there. There you go. Get in there. You're supposed to be in the resin. Alright. Alright, let's get these domed. Okay, I've got my blue. put all of that on there. I don't necessarily need all of that blue. I'm gonna make a little sphere maybe to go with this guy too. I want to add all sorts of little bits to go with this guy, with this shaker. This is a very late Christmas present. That's what this shaker is, that I've been meaning to get done. Just haven't gotten around to. So. Alright. Like the other ones, I want this blue to seal everything in. I'm going to go over the bail. I also kind of want to cover up the white of the back. So it doesn't quite match the vibe of the rest of the thing. I literally just made the back white because I had that picture of the moon and I wanted it to stand out. So I did white behind it. So let's get the blue all the way up to all the edges. Excellent. That off to the side. Spritz it down. I think this hand over here could use a little bit more black. Alright, just got a little bit of that blue left. That might work out okay for me, actually. Alright, let's do our pink ones. This is our bright pink that I also added some glow-in-the-dark pigment to. It made it definitely a brighter pink as opposed to a little bit more of a muted pink. And that's actually going on this one. I should make sure that I'm putting it on the correct one. I might want a little bit more resin in there too, actually. Luckily I've got extra resin. I think that's a really pretty pink. I wonder how well it's gonna glow, because I did the mix of the mica and the glow pigment. I don't know. We'll see if it glows. After it cures, I think it'll be much easier to tell. Kind of mix it in with all the clear that I left here when I wasn't thinking and did clear resin first. Oops. Yeah, I think that pink's going to be kind of cute. There we go. There we go. There's that one. Oh dear. Yeah, that seems roughly flat. Alright, our hedgehog here is actually just going to have clear on the back. I could have done it in the brown, but I don't think it would have really mattered. I think it would have ended up looking pretty much exactly the same. whether I did it the color of the hedgehog or just in clear. So I figured I might as well do it in clear because that's just going to be easier. But I will get this all filled in. This one also doesn't have a bail because I figured that the spikes stick out enough that I could drill one of them. Try not to get resin underneath it, though. I don't want it to drip. I don't want the resin to drip down the sides. I just added stuff so that if it does, hopefully it's not a huge deal. Alright, so last one here is actually this guy. And this one I probably use a little bit more resin again. This one's going to have our like a light pink back as well. Slightly different light pink though. The light pink that's going to match the front of it, which is also light pink. Okay. I don't know why I was looking for a stir stick. There's a stir stick in here. Like I said, I think I'm just like tired today or something. I'm losing my mind. There we go. So we've got that light pink, and that light pink's going to match that light pink. That's the idea anyways. Alright. Trying to get it mixed in with the clear resin that is still on there a little bit. And I can feel that the resin is starting to get a little bit thicker, so I want to get this all done. Oh, it has been, you know, we're nearing the getting closer to the end of the work time, I think. I think it's about a little bit less than an hour ago that we started mixing up the resin. Technically, this stuff has like a 40-minute work time, I think. I definitely push it longer than that, though. Alright, there we go. And I don't really mind that I can see the holes there. It's fine. Doesn't matter too much. Alright, so with our leftover resin, let's add a little bit more resin to this guy. This is our Petri, but I don't want all of the ink to cause problems. So I'm just going to add a little bit more resin here, and then that guy will be good. And we'll put him over there. I think we could make some spare dice as well. Let me make a rock blank real quick. I don't need all of these big pieces. Okay. I think I left enough that if I really need to, I can make another blank like this. So let me fill up a D6 here with the rocks. Part of the reason I'm doing a blank is because there's so many little pieces in here that I kind of expect there to be like an air gap, like an air bubble. So if it's in a blank and there's a little bit of an air bubble, that's fine. Like it'll just when I put it into the regular dye, it'll end up looking fine. But I will add some extra resin here. There we go. There's that resin. But yeah, we could make some miscellaneous dice. Maybe another bird. Oh, I do also have. I do have a couple of turtles. I got some turtle molds recently. I also have a pen blank that I've been throwing random blue colors into. So let me throw the last of my blue resin into here. So I do want to finish this off, this pen blank, so I can make another one. This one's been just kind of a dump mold. No, I made, I got like a little like wooden pen blank, so literally just like a little rectangular prism of wood that's built for lathing into like a pen. And then, because I know someone who decided that they wanted to take that up, and went and I made a sunrise like blank, basically, and it turned out really cool. So I want to make some more pen blanks now and just see, what we can do. I also gotta make one a pen recently. I'll post a picture of it in the Discord. It was quite fun. It was quite fun getting to use the lathe and make a pen. I'm going to add a little more of this. That sticks up quite a ways. This might overflow, but that's okay. Alright. It's all blue color, so maybe I'll add a little bit of clear here. That'll be fine. If I have leftover white, maybe I'll throw some of that in there. I do have, ooh, yeah, things are starting to get sticky. All right, let's do our bird dirty pour, because you get things going. Is there a cat hair there? There's a cat hair there too. Always so much cat hair. It never ends. The cat hair never ends. Okay. All right, we're gonna do rainbow colors. So I'm gonna do pink. Nope. And teal. I'm gonna do yellow. I think I'll do a drop of white on each of these as well. Kind of help them show up a bit. Alright, and then we're going to pour that into our bird here. Ooh, this is going to look cool, I bet. I bet this bird looks so cool. I think this could probably go in here, because it's mostly like teal left. There's still some pink and stuff in there. Let me do another drop of teal in there, and then we'll call it good, maybe. There's some pink in there. I don't know if I like that there's some pink in there, but that's okay. It's fine. I think this is on the outside enough that we might not even get any of it. Once it actually gets turned. Alright, there we go. Cool. We got all that good on that. Alright. probably want to put that in the thing too. All right. Let's see. Okay, let me do. Fill in a couple turtles. I'm gonna grab a couple of like maybe D12 molds. I feel like I need more D12s, maybe D4s. Yeah, I'll grab a random D12 and a random D4 as well. I'll do D4 with some pink. Put a little bit. Oop! Ah! That is the problem with it getting so thick, is that it sticks to my gloves and goes flying off into my shakers. I will do a bird with flowers in it some other time as well. I did want to do a bird with flowers. I feel like that's like a good combo. It makes sense to me. Birds and flowers. Alright, we got a turtle. We'll do pink D4. I'll show this pink into this turtle and get it all filled up. I should fill the D4, I think, before I start filling other things. Still got a little bit of clear as well. Just to fill in the turtle. The turtle could use a little more. Alright, I think we're probably going to call it pretty much here. I just need to go get things put into the pressure pot now. I think that's pretty much it. I'll throw some last little bits. I suppose like you guys could hang out while I throw some. I've got a little bit more resin left. I'll throw on some things. But, like, I've got this guy. I guess I might just throw some clear on here to make it a little. I might just, yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna throw the clear on here to make this a little bit thicker, and then we'll call that good. Alright. Let me try and spread this out. I'm just going to throw the last little bit of the green on here too, I think. Might as well. I'm just kind of using up the resin. Oh, there's black as well. I'll do a black D12, that's fine. Alright. There we go. Alright, there's that. Alright. Do black D12 and then we will call it, because I think that's what I've got left. Oh gosh, I've got a lot of black resin left actually. Oh, this might be perfect. And I'll make another little sphere, I guess, in black. Alright, cool. We don't have a ton of lids to put on, actually. So we'll get the lids put on for literally just... I literally just have the lid for this guy. And these guys I'll spritz down a little bit. And these guys can go up here as well. There's some bubbles there, but whatever. I need to get this in the first one. Anyways, that is going to do it for today. Thank you for hanging out on this lovely Sunday. I am going to go get these into the pressure pots. I'll be sure to take photos of all of these things once I have them all done, because I think they'll be pretty cool. Oh, I should get... I only put some of these things kind of closer together so that I can put this guy on here. Kind of prop some of these birds up in here, I think. I'm going to kind of wedge them a little bit so that I can make sure they stay upright. There we go. Alright, anyways, that is going to do it. Thanks for hanging out. I will see you guys. I will not be here next weekend because I'm going to be at RadCon in Pasco, Washington. So if you're in the area, come say hi. I should be back the weekend after that. So hopefully I'll see you guys then. But have a good one. Bye-bye.